Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well on this Saturday morning. It is November the 23rd, and I have several things to cover. Family slash holiday gatherings, visitation after such an election as we have had. I'm going to address that. The good, the bad, the ugly, your anxiety over this, your worries, what you look forward to, what you're going to avoid. I mean, there's a lot to this, right? I want to try to boil it down a little bit and try to give some advice from my point of view, at least, and share your thoughts. Also, take me back, at least just temporarily, back to the days when the shopping mall, you remember the mall? The mall was crowded, especially this time of the year, and things just felt right. I mean, I don't know. Are we over romanticizing it? I don't think so. I'm going to go into that a little bit, take you down the old road. And also, well, I won't show it today. I'm not done with it, but I have a new whiteboard I'm working on. I think you'll like it. It'll probably be ready tomorrow. That's something I have to think about. And I want it to be impactful, or at least make you think. Make you think, right? Okay. I have two excellent passages from the Bible I will share with you towards the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. They were passages that were suggested by you guys. So when you put suggestions in the comments, I always look at them, and I will eventually. I may not read all of them. It depends, but I get to as many as I can. But first, real quick, Miss Dawg and I were out last night after dark. We didn't get home till after dark, y'all, and not like dusk. Like you pull into the driveway and it's almost dark. You're like, we made it home before dark. It was dark, dark. So granted, it gets dark earlier in the evening now, this time of year, of course. But we decided after work, after we were done with work, we decided we would just go out and grab something to eat. There's a local Mexican restaurant not terribly far from us that we really like to frequent. It's just an unassuming place. It's kind of unassuming. It's been there for a long time, but the people, it's like real people, regular people. Like families too. It's kind of cool to see families. And the service is always good. They know us. They see you coming, and they're very nice. The staff and the restaurant and all that. So it's just always a positive. It's always a good experience, y'all. It really is. Okay. But we were coming back home, and it was like Miss Dawg was like, "Hey, it's dark," and I'm like, I know, it feels weird, it feels a little strange, kind of out of sorts, but we made it fine. We did it. Who knows? We may do it again at some point. All right, I thought that was kind of funny, but at our age, take me back. I was watching some video earlier, especially this time of the year. You see the little short videos on of people when they made, I guess, the old camcorders. I don't think I ever had one, but a camcorder. And back in the late '80s, early '90s, of just random videos of people at the shopping mall. Now, obviously, this looked like it was, United States, but unclear of the state or anything like that. Who knows? It really didn't matter. It didn't really matter then. Back then, this was a different time, y'all. And I know most of you who watch my channel will probably remember these times. But uh, this particular video I was watching this morning was from 1986, y'all. Dang, 1986. I was still in college then. Well, I was nearing the end of my college career then, but yeah. But sometimes I think, take me back. Can you just take me back for a day at least, and just let me live through a day? I would be fine. Just drop me off somewhere. I would be fine. You can leave me there for a while, you know. But I don't know. We may find out that if we could relive a day, we might realize. I don't know. Do we now over romanticize that time? I don't know. No cell phones. A car phone, they called it back in the day. The car phone was so huge, it looked like something the military uses to call in airstrikes. It was like this huge thing with an antenna on it, and they looked freaky. They looked freaky, but um, it was just such a different time. The music was awesome, and it was just a simpler time. You had personal conversation, you had in-person conversations, and they were it was just different. It was different. I don't know, let me know. But watching these videos, it just struck me, short videos, but it said a lot. The malls were crowded. They were crowded. The people looked, they were civil. People are walking around in a civil manner. They're taking their time. They're enjoying their time. You can tell. People are holding hands. Parents holding the hands of kids, small kids, and couples holding hands. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And people, they were dressed decently. They were dressed presentable. They looked presentable for the most part, right? But it just looked civil. It looked orderly. It just looked like people were having fun. There was also a shot of like a Santa Claus, a guy, remember that when they had the Santa Claus and kids on his lap, and there was a long line with the parents with the kids waiting to see Santa. That used to happen. I don't know. It may happen some nowadays. I don't know. Let me know. If it happens in your town. I don't know. I don't think we find it here, but it's hard to find a mall that's operational at this point. I know there's one near us in Athens, the old Georgia Square Mall. It's around still, but I don't think much is in there. I think there's a what is that? A Belk that's still there, maybe. Gosh, I haven't been in there in a while. I know Mall of Georgia is still around. Hadn't been there in a long time. I don't know if I want to go there nowadays. You know what I mean? Um, but also, when I watched this video, people were grabbing their Chick-fil-A or something to eat from the food court, and they were, there was no place. The benches would get used up quick. Were taken, so people were lying, sitting on the floor against the wall eating their food, and that was just normal. Then it was fine. Nobody was going to step on you. And people were having a conversation, but it wasn't overly loud or rude or anything like that. Um, I remember as a kid, now going back further than this, this is probably in the 70s or early 70s. Mom would take us to the my brother and I to the mall, and I remember going into Rich's. Remember Rich's, that store, the department store, Rich's, and we would go in there, and she would kind of bribe us like, "I'll take you to Chick-fil-A. I'll give you a snack if you behave, and you're gonna be fine." And we're like, "No problem. We can work with this." So we'd go in there, and eat our Chick-fil-A. That's the only back then. That's the only place you saw Chick-fil-A is in the mall, and it was small. And you had the seats. It was such a small place. You had to just take your food and go out on a bench around the fountain. Miss Dawg was reminding me. I always sat around the fountain, on the little thing there and ate, or on the floor. And I remember in Rich's they had this big, huge little glass case, little, but and they had peanuts and they had them under this light. You could smell them and the chocolate and all that and the popcorn. I'm like, it just brings it back, a different time for sure. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Do you remember those days? I miss them. I do. We felt safe too. It's not like we were clutching onto our children for dear life, looking around like, oh my gosh, who's going to try to snatch them? You know, the food was even better. Maybe I'm going too far there. I don't know. What do y'all think? Okay, the holidays. Okay, we got the first holiday. We got Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas after such an election as we've gone through now, and a lot of people have anxiety, and family and differences and all this stuff. Now, I just wanted to address it a little bit. Uh, First of all, it's hard for me to wrap my head around Christmas just yet, as far as all the commercialization of it and all that. It's just really disgusting in that respect. But the holiday, the reason for the holiday and all that, of course, I'm with. But it's hard for me to wrap my head around that before Thanksgiving because I enjoy Thanksgiving. I really do. Can we get through that first? Can we have the turkey first? After that, man, okay, I'm all aboard. I'm all aboard on the Christmas train. Okay. After next Thursday. even after next Friday, because for me, Thanksgiving is Thursday and Friday. All right, at a minimum. It's a short work week for us. You can relax a little bit, enjoy it. Don't count calories for that day. Okay, take a walk after you eat. You're fine. All right, you're gonna be fine. But that's my thoughts on that part. Uh, getting together with people. Okay, if you do, I know I'm pretty lucky. We're pretty lucky in our on both sides of our families here. Uh, there are differences. There are some differences. It's not vast, you know. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I could say pretty confident we're all Christian, you know. But as far as politically, worldviews, there's some family members close to us that we have very, very different, I would say, opposite worldviews, and especially on politics, especially with this election. But we're praying for it to be kind of like it has been in the past for us, is that it has not stopped us from getting together. We just have that kind of unwritten rule. It's an unwritten rule that we just don't go there in our conversations. We do not go. We focus it on each other, our school, our work, our families, what's going on with you, and what's good, what you have a challenge. We may go to the challenges, but what's good. You just it's just enjoying the fellowship, enjoying each other's company. You don't have to go into that. It's not necessary. It's a day or two that you're with these people. Maybe not even that long. Maybe it's a few hours. It's not worth it. Okay. So for us, it's worked, at least so far, uh, that we have a good time. We have a good time with it, and at the end we're hugging and all that, and it's great. And we just don't go there. Now there are some of my extended family that's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. And that's okay. That's okay. But with our, you know, the closer knit ones, it's good. It's good. Now, and again, like I would say an exception to that. I know some of you experienced this, and I hope we don't. I mean, it's possible. I mean, but now the exception to that would be if it's an abusive thing. Now, if this family member or friend um, is insistent on bringing this up. Now, let's say you're having a good time and somebody does try to bring this stuff up and stir a pot a bit or and throw a fire in there. I think it's important to be assertive at that point. Not rude. Ain't got to be rude, but I don't think I've had to do this yet. I don't think I have. Hopefully, but I think it's important to say, okay, here's the deal. We're having a good time here. We're not going to go there. We're not going to put up with that. It's not the time, not the place. It's not needed. We don't need this today. And that should take care of it. Now, it might not, but I think, and if that's been a problem in the past, I would say, that would be a reason to not entertain these people, even if they're family. Okay, if they're going to be abusive, if they've been berating you, and during this election cycle, they the text, the phone call, and no, don't include them. They're going to be a troublemaker. You do not want that. If they're going to be abusive, if they're going to be rude, they're going to throw bombs in your party. Don't go there. They're not welcome. No. They're going to tear you down. They're not supportive. They're not, at least they're not being, at least be civil. If we could do that, fine. But if they're going to be disruptive, don't put up with it. It's not worth it. It's evil. Okay. It's evil. Don't stand for it. Rebuke it and don't entertain them. Don't entertain it. Don't be around it. Um, that's my view, at least. That's my opinion. And I think it's okay to do that. Why bring somebody in, even if it's family, who's going to tear the place down? No, no, no. So again, back to my first thing is that, you can have different views. We can disagree. And if we can get to a point like we used to in life, where we agree to disagree, but still be civil to each other, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Put it aside for a few hours a day, right? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I think it's important. Uh, who knows? The relationship might even get better, at least on some level, right? I think it's important. We're not going to live forever. That family member, that person, may be gone tomorrow. We don't know. We don't know. We just never know. So that's kind of my views right now. You know, share your thoughts on that. What do you think? What do you think? I mean, I think as long as it's not disruptive, negative, evil, let's get together if possible, as you're able. It's a challenge for us here. Our adult children and some others, and even parental units are not real close. We're not all real close to each other. Uh, so that's a challenge too. But I hope you guys can experience some good times, some good get-togethers, even if you disagree. Even if you disagree. I'm going to go into two passages actually. First one is from Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 says, "Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. This is what the ancients were commended for." Faith doesn't have to be what we can see, right? We know this. We are led by faith, not by sight, right? Sometimes that's what it's all about. It's about that faith, that leap of faith. Sometimes it's huge. Sometimes it can be kind of small, but that's okay. That's okay. We're human. All right, and Psalm 91. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to go with the first little section, and I may, over the course of some time, go through it all. But Psalm 91 is an awesome. The whole thing is awesome. I'll just go through first couple of verses. Says, "He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust." Amen. Amen. That's all just awesome. That's poetry. But my refuge, He is our refuge, our fortress in good times, in challenging times, in suffering, in despair. He is our fortress. He will bring us out of it, sees us right through it, and will make us new again. That's a promise. All right. Okay. Hope this was helpful. Share your thoughts. We're in a weekend here. Let's be safe. Let's be careful out there, but do your things. God bless y'all. See you soon.